We just got really big news in the NBA, so I had to record this emergency video. Jimmy Butler has been traded to the Golden State Warriors for Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, and a 2029 first round pick. And he just signed an extension. Shams Charania has announced that he signed a 2-year, $121 million extension. So the Warriors will be paying Jimmy $60 million for 2 years. This is really big news. I had questions as soon as the trade came out if Jimmy was willing to sign an extension, if the Warriors were gonna be able to get him to extend his contract, and they just did. So for the next few years, essentially, it's Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond, and whatever else they can do. Obviously, they lost some depth in the trade, but Dennis Schroeder hadn't been playing well for them. Kyle Anderson was all right, and Wiggins is essentially replaced by Jimmy Butler instantly. So I'm not sure if I'd put the Warriors in the contender category, but this is a huge, huge trade. As for Miami, they get Wiggins, which has solid value, and he's a good player. Dennis Schroeder hadn't been playing well, but I'm sure Dennis Schroeder can easily play himself back into some value around the league. And Kyle Anderson, he doesn't really do much for them. The first round pick, I'm not sure how valuable it'll be, but since it is years from now, and at that point, I'm sure the Warriors will have blown it up, and Steph Curry will probably be retired, if not really old. Yeah, I'm sure that pick will have value in the future, but this is a really big move. This is a massive move, and the Warriors have obviously chosen the direction. It's now, all in, all or nothing. Give Steph Curry a chance, and essentially they're doing that with this. I'm not sure if they're going to make another move around the edges to, bolster the roster for a playoff run. Maybe trade for some more depth, trade for a big man, or perhaps they want to run the small ball lineup with Draymond like they used to back in the day. I'm not sure it's as viable, in the current landscape of the league, considering bigs like in the West like Jokic and Jaren Jackson Jr., Anthony Davis in Dallas now. It's like a lot of tall guys that are very, very strong. I'm not sure if Draymond can guard those guys. Even if he could do that back in the day, he's too old, too far in his career. And I don't know. This is just a really big move. I'm kind of speechless, kind of lost for words, but that's all I got for now. Adding on to the video, it turns out this is a 5-team trade, sending Dennis Schroeder to Utah and Kyle Anderson to Toronto. I'm sure there are other details involved, but obviously the Warriors and the Heat have been working on this for quite a while in order to get Jimmy to Golden State. But Dennis Schroeder to Utah, I'm not sure if they'll trade him or if they'll flip him for another asset. I'm not sure they would want to hold on to Dennis Schroeder. And Kyle Anderson to Toronto, it doesn't really do much. I'm sure they could get a second round pick for him or something, but yeah, just additional details being revealed.